Lions fans, get ready because today's news will tug at your emotions. From an unexpected playoff twist that could complicate Detroit's path to an ex-coach boldly predicting the Lions will end their historic drought and win the Super Bowl, there's a lot to unpack. That's right, the air is buzzing with excitement and controversy, and you won't want to miss a second of these updates that could change the course of our season. Smash that like button and let's dive in. Well, Lions fans, the playoff drama is already heating up, and Detroit just got hit with some news that could shake up their postseason path. Due to the devastating wildfires in Southern California, the NFL has decided to relocate the final wildcard weekend clash between the Vikings and Rams to the desert oasis of Arizona. The announcement dropped on Thursday, January 9th, and while it doesn't directly affect Detroit yet, the ripple effects could be massive for the NFC playoff picture. Here's the deal. If Tampa Bay, the NFC's number 3 seed, takes care of business against Washington on Sunday night, Detroit will host the winner of Vikings-Rams in the divisional round. On paper, that sounds like a solid setup for the Lions, considering they're a perfect 3-0 against those two teams this season. But hold on, there's more to the story. Minnesota, sitting at 14-3, has been one of the most consistent teams all year. Sure, the Lions handed them a loss in the regular season finale, but the Vikings have been red-hot down the stretch, winning 9 of their last 10. Meanwhile, the Rams, despite sneaking into the playoffs at 10-7, are sputtering offensively. Their Week 8 win over Minnesota feels like a distant memory, and their stars haven't exactly been shining. Cooper Kupp's been a ghost, just 53 yards across 3 games to close the season, and Matthew Stafford hasn't been much better, tossing only 1 touchdown over that stretch. Oddsmakers initially gave Minnesota a slight 2.5-point edge over LA, but with the game now set for a neutral site, that spread briefly narrowed. By Sunday, though, it crept back to 2.5 in favor of the Vikings, and it's hard not to see them as the safer bet given the circumstances. That's not great news for the Lions, especially if Tampa Bay holds serve. Why? Because Detroit would have to beat Minnesota for the 3rd time this season, a daunting task no matter how you slice it. The Lions may still be slight favorites over the Vikings in a potential divisional round showdown, but let's be real. Facing a battle-tested Minnesota squad that's looking for revenge feels like the kind of worst-case scenario Detroit would have preferred to avoid. Still, this team has defied expectations all year, and if they can finally break through to their first-ever Super Bowl, you better believe it's going to be one for the history books. Buckle up, folks. It's about to get wild. So, fans, what do you think? Would this possible rematch against the Vikings be a nightmare or the perfect opportunity to solidify our strength? Drop your comments below. Now hold tight because the next update will get you even more excited. Steve Mariucci, the former NFL head coach and now a familiar face on the NFL Network, just dropped a bombshell Super Bowl prediction, and it's got Detroit Lions fans buzzing. As the postseason heats up and all eyes turn toward New Orleans, where Super Bowl 59 will go down on February 9th, Mariucci boldly backed the Lions to not only make their first ever Super Bowl appearance, but to bring home the Lombardi Trophy. His call? Detroit takes down the Baltimore Ravens to cap off a historic season. Now, let's not forget Mariucci's ties to the Motor City. He coached the Lions from 2003 to 2005, though his best NFL days came with the 49ers. Still, his vote of confidence isn't just sentimental. The Lions are rolling and the Ravens are no joke, but I see Detroit taking it all, he said during an NFL Network segment. For a franchise with a tortured history, this is huge. Detroit's trophy case holds 4 championships, but all from the pre-Super Bowl days. Since the big game's inception in 1967, the Lions are the only NFC team never to play in one. That's right, 0 Super Bowl appearances. But this year, they're on a mission to obliterate that stat. Under head coach Dan Campbell, Detroit has turned into an absolute juggernaut. They rolled into the postseason with a jaw-dropping 15-2 record, locking up the NFC's top seed and earning a bye for the first time in franchise history. Oh, and they've now won the NFC North 2 years straight, another milestone for a team that's rewriting its own story. It's not like they don't have unfinished business either. Last year, they were 1 win away from the Super Bowl, but fell short against the 49ers in the NFC Championship. This time, with momentum, depth, and a chip on their shoulders, they look ready to break through and finally give their long-suffering fans a taste of ultimate glory. Mariucci's prediction may have raised some eyebrows, but given Detroit's rise, it's far from outlandish. If the Lions can carry this momentum all the way to February, we could be witnessing the most memorable season in franchise history. Stay tuned, this could get legendary. Look, being a Lions fan has never been for the faint of heart, but if Mariucci is right, we're about to witness history. Let's just hope the team stays focused and proves that all this hype isn't in vain. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a single update in this epic journey to the Super Bowl.